John McAfee was the wildest entrepreneur alive. Bitcoin billionaire. Never paid taxes. Wanted in 3 countries. Hacked Hillary Clinton's office. Married a prostitute sent to kill him. Survived 50+ assassination attempts. The person you may know. The story you don't. John McAfee didn't just invent antivirus software. He created an empire and burned it all down. He was born in 1945 to a violent, alcoholic father. At 15 years old, John walked into a room and found his father's dead body, a gunshot wound to the head. But rumor has it, John pulled the trigger. Despite the trauma, John was brilliant. In the 1960s, while most people were struggling to use a typewriter, NASA hired him to work on the Apollo space missions. His job? Designing code that helped put astronauts on the moon. But his intelligence came with a dark side. By the 1980s, John was a brilliant but reckless coder. He drank heavily but worked harder. And he landed a job at Lockheed Martin. One day, he heard about a new threat, a computer virus that could destroy data. Most ignored it. John? He saw an opportunity.
I worked 18 hours a day for 2 years, 7 days a week, without a day off, sleeping in the office most of the time. The following day, we wrote a program, defined it, kill it, remove it, and put everything back together again. All right. That program had 10 million users in 2 weeks. I didn't plan that. Nobody can plan that. You can't plan your fucking success, people. Success is an opportunity that blocks by knows. Attached to it is the greatest risks and the most life-changing things you'll ever dream of.
In 1986, the world's first computer virus, called Brain, was spreading fast. John locked himself in his apartment, reverse-engineered the virus, and wrote a program to destroy it. He called it McAfee Antivirus. The craziest part? He didn't sell it. He gave it away for free. Why free? John knew one thing: give them a taste, and they'll pay to stay protected. By the early 90s, McAfee Antivirus was installed in 67% of the world's largest companies, and they were paying him millions. At age 47, he became a multi-millionaire. But he was just getting started.
I see infections of small companies where every computer has become infected, and the company is near collapse from financial loss.
Virus expert John McAfee, president of a newly formed Computer Virus Association, helps companies recover from attacks.
The problem is getting worse. We're seeing a new virus arrive on the scene at the rate of about 1 a month now. Most of the new viruses are worse than the old viruses because they are more subtle, more sophisticated, and they cause a great deal more damage.
This is a simulation of an attack by a virus that infected 400 computers in Mexico earlier this year. Its effects are obvious, but most viruses work surreptitiously, erasing data files and programs before they're detected. McAfee and others have developed new countermeasures called vaccines and antiviral programs that detect and neutralize viral infections.
John even made Forbes' top 100 wealthiest list. At his peak, his net worth soared to $100 million. But John McAfee wasn't built for corporate life. In 1994, he sold his entire stake in McAfee Software and walked away. That's when his life turned into an action movie.
I do not like being a slave. It has never agreed with me like it does with some people. I mean, the illusion that I'm going to work for a company for X number of years, maybe 40 even, and I'm going to move up the ladder, I'm going to get more money and more prestige and more perks. And yet, does my life change? I still wake up at 6 and I got to grab a quick breakfast and then commute for a damn hour to work. I sit in a windowless office all day long doing shit that I don't like. Go to bed and you do it all over again for 40 years. And if you think that is not slavery, do something to see the truth of your existence.
Thank you, John.
He bought estates, a fleet of luxury cars, and flew to work in a helicopter. But that wasn't enough. He moved to Belize and built a private armed compound with ex-military guards, a private surveillance network, a personal drug lab. Why? He believed powerful people wanted him dead.
Did you ever pay attention to when John McAfee was cooking in a lab in his backyard?
I mean, McAfee's quite a character.
He was a character.
I talked to a reporter who went down and interviewed him in Belize. He had, I guess, this trick where he would play Russian roulette with himself. So, according to this reporter, when he went to visit McAfee in Belize, McAfee took out the revolver, put a bullet in the revolver, spun the chamber, and then pointed at his head and went click. And the reporter's saying, "Please don't do this. This is insane." Click, 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 and then pointed the gun at the ground, and next went click, bang, and shot a bullet in the ground.
Jesus.
That's a hell of a party trick.
His paranoia wasn't just a feeling, it was an obsession. He claimed the government was watching him, so he watched them back. He built private surveillance networks, hacked local police radios, monitored everyone, even government offices. And then, things got darker. Part 2 coming up.